Hi guys, welcome to episode 2 of the Arsenal Away podcast. As you can see, I'm in a hotel room in a resort in Bintan. So for all you lucky folks who are watching us, the Arsenal Away has gone international. I have Ashwin in Bombay as usual. How's it going? I see you're in your home kit, spanking new away kit, which apparently doesn't reflect our performance
I mean,
at the United game.
I, it's such a shame. We have such nice kits this year, and we played
Yeah,
such disastrous football. It's,
yeah.
it's just not. I mean, for the last 5 seasons, we had Puma, and they put up some really terrible jerseys, and we played decent
Mhm.
football. But this year, when we've got these really good-looking kits, we're playing such terrible football.
So disclaimer, folks. I missed the game. I was on a flight to Singapore,
Mhm.
but I did catch uh, the match report, and it seemed like a mid-table clash, from what I could gather, and not a battle of the bigwigs as it used to be.
Trust me, I think
Uh,
you haven't missed anything. The first half was so boring. I would
yeah.
have preferred watching I would have preferred watching Burnley play Stoke because it was that bad.
Wow.
The quality on
Wow.
both sides. I mean, you mentioned top of the table clash, and when you talk about United Arsenal, you want it to be a top of the table clash because you're so used to United Arsenal. But it was a game where you could see I mean, it exposed both sides' weaknesses to a very, I mean, exposed it so badly that both teams looked very mediocre and looked very
Right.
average,
Right.
right?
How do you think? How do you think he lined up? I thought it was. I think I remember towards the when we were discussing in the last episode. You and I both thought that he will go defensive.
Mhm.
And I was just really surprised to see that Ozil wasn't even in the squad. Which I'm not sure why. Did he happen to mention a reason why as to why he didn't include him?
So I think during the last pod, I mentioned saying that don't be surprised if Ozil's not even in the squad, and that's exactly what happened. I think when they interviewed him and they asked him why is Ozil not there, his answer was not today, and I don't know what that meant. But why would you name him as one of your five captains and then not take him to an important game? Okay, I understand you don't want to start him, but at least keep him on the bench because uh, at some point, you need that sort of creativity, and Ozil can produce that moment of brilliance at any moment. Uh, the fact that you and me were talking about saying that this was United's worst team ever, and the only way for us to go there was to go on the front foot, attack them, and basically put them under pressure. It was the complete opposite. He set up with three defensive mids. He played Torreira, Xhaka, Guendouzi, right? And we gave this United side too much respect. I mean, I'm not trying to take anything away from the United team. Uh, they've they've had great teams in the past, and giving them respect when they were under Fergie was something different. But giving this team respect, so much space and so much time on the ball was ridiculous. I mean, was absolutely. It's just that we're just lucky that they don't have a good attack. Otherwise, if they did, they would have probably beaten us 3, 4, 5-0. We were that poor. We probably created about three decent chances, but they created some as well. I think Leno was the busier keeper over De Gea. I don't really remember De Gea making a lot of saves. I think he made one off Saka in the first half. He saved Guendouzi, and that's it. That's it. Apart from him picking up the ball from the net that Aubameyang scored, which was given offside, which was a ridiculous decision, with the linesman standing, I mean, Harry Maguire standing a foot away from the linesman and playing Oba on clearly, he's given offside. So in a way, I'm happy that VAR was there because it saved us. Otherwise, we'd have gone home with no points because that was
How
horrendous.
do you think? I mean, I saw. I was surprised that McTominay was the one who scored for them, which was unexpected completely.
So yeah, the goal led from us attacking and them hitting us on the counter, and that was the only way they scored. It's typical Arsenal. Like we had, I think it was a corner that we had, or we had a shot that we took, and we had most of our players in their half, and they hit us on the counter. a swift counter. Basically, Daniel James got the ball on the right, he crossed it in, and Rashford played it back to Pogba, and then Pogba to McTominay, and then he took a shot. It was a good shot. Took a slight deflection of Socrates. So basically, it took the ball away from even Xhaka and Leno, and Leno was just standing there, couldn't do anything about it. But my major problem was that he wasn't adventurous enough. Like, he's such a scared manager. Okay, I understand you go to Liverpool and you want to set up defensively because you go to Liverpool and you know they're going to put 4 or 5 past you, and because you aren't on the level that they are, so you want to play defensively and you want to shut up shop. But United are not on the level that Liverpool are. He gave them too much respect, gave them too much room. I think I read a tweet on Twitter which said Emery's idea of a number 10 is a DM, and that's exactly what he did. Second half, he pushed Torreira in the number 10 position. So Torreira was basically the furthest in the box, and he was playing the number 10 position. I mean, why would you do that? And then the game changed once he brought Ceballos and Willick on. He brought Willick on the left wing, right? And he got Ceballos on to replace. I think he replaced Torreira with Ceballos. That were changes, but the game changed because there was more energy, and yeah, that's it. I don't think we created much more than that. Saka had a good night. Uh, Pepe had a very bad night. I was expecting better from Pepe because last week he got a goal, he had an assist, right? So I was expecting him to do a lot better, but I don't know what it is. Pepe seems to be under pressure a little bit. Can't seem to play the simple 5 yard passes. Things that just.
It's just.
I think it's
I
going to
think
take
the
some
weight
time.
of it's the I think
Yeah.
it's the weight of the price tag as well that comes with it. I think
Uh,
we spoke about it. I think we spoke about it earlier as well. It'll take a while for him, and that weight of that price tag that's carrying is that unnecessarily adding pressure that shouldn't really be there.
so the thing is, I think it's a couple of things. Like Perez and Lundberg both took like a year to settle in. They come from
Yeah.
a league that's not as physical as the Premier League, obviously. So it took them some time. Plus, you're right. The weight of the price tag, 72 million, that he's going to be the next whatever Ronaldo, Messi, whatever, is probably put pressure on him as well. And another thing, I think what has really affected him is Emery's system. It's not really playing into Pepe's strength. Pepe is more, I mean, he's more used to getting the ball a little higher up, closer to the box. He's not used to picking it up from, say, half line and running with it. So maybe it's got to do something with Emery's system as well. But that night, uh, a 17-year-old academy player outshone biggest, highest player that we basically
Most expensive transfer.
most
Yeah.
expensive transfer. So I mean, I'm not saying that Pepe is crap or anything. It's going to take him some time. We've got to just be patient with him. But I see the frustration that people are seeing now because you expect with that sort of price tag that he's coming with, you expect immediate results, and we're not really seeing that right now. Like the basics are
Yeah, I
going
think
off.
I don't know. I think I remember last year I used to think that this team could do with wingers,
Mm-hmm.
and someone like an Ozil or a Ceballos
Mm-hmm.
playing in that number 10 role, supplying those through balls,
Mm-hmm.
those someone who has a runner, and they're targeting those runners. Something that Ozil did really well when he was at Madrid.
Madrid, Ronaldo,
Also, he used to
yeah.
link up really well with Sanchez and Walcott as well when he
Mm-hmm.
was when both Theo and Alexis were around. I thought that would come in, but it brings me to my next question. Now that's what 2 points from 9 games,
Mm-hmm.
2 points from nine. Sorry,
Yeah.
against draw against Spurs, the loss to Liverpool, and now the draw against United.
Top six
We've
sides.
played Liverpool away. We've played United away.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see an improvement. It's pretty much the same as how it was under Arsene as well, and I'm not really sure what he's bringing to the team.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right. The point you made earlier that against a side as poor as this, I, and we've seen great United side in the past, and we've gone for it then.
Mm.
He's setting up teams not
Defensively.
to not lose,
Yeah.
which, and you very rightly said, a team like this, which we should be beating comfortably, he's being very, very defensive. It's something that we've touched upon in the past as well. It's a small club mentality to not go and lose.
No, plus
And
if you watched our team over the past 1.5 year, our strength is the attack, right?
yeah,
So why wouldn't you want to play to your strengths? Why would you want to set up in a different way and not play to your strength? So it was baffling that we went to Old Trafford and we played three defensive mids. So
yeah,
that was, I mean, see, you know, my thoughts on Emery. I feel he's not a sort of, I feel Arsenal is not the level for him as yet. I feel
yeah.
it's too big a club for him because every time he sets up like the underdog, which we are not, right? At You can't set up at home to Aston Villa defensively. You can't. Okay, I understand you're going to Old Trafford, but you're not going to play a Fergie's or Man United team. You're going to play one of the worst United teams that has been out there, right? And you set up defensively. As soon as he, as soon as they needed a goal, as soon as we went forward, we looked better, right? Which now brings me to this question: are we really jumping the gun with Emery? Because uh, this season we basically played, like you mentioned, we've gone away to Liverpool, we've gone away to United, we played Spurs at home. That's three of the top six of last year,
Yeah.
and we're still number
Two
four.
from nine.
Yeah,
Yeah, two
yeah,
points from
no, no.
nine. Yeah.
We're number four on the table. We're ahead of the of United, Chelsea, and Spurs at the present moment. I mean, obviously, we're not going to catch City and Liverpool, but Leicester's the team that's ahead of us right now. We're still top four. So my question to you is: are we really jumping the gun by saying Emery out, or is he go? Should we give him time because we're probably not in a bad position with him blooding in youngsters and giving them that chance? So, what do you think about that?
Look, I think he's not had the chance to play his own players.
Mm-hmm.
Bellerin's been out for a significant time. Tierney's also come in. And I think they're, from what I was reading today, that they're both fit to start tomorrow night's game against Liège.
Yeah.
So I think once those players come back in, I think he'll probably set up a little more differently because he knows he's got that some form of stability in the back line,
Mm-hmm.
for him to then maybe be a little bit more adventurous. And you're right, maybe by saying that, we're still fourth, and maybe we're being a little bit presumptuous, thinking that it's his time, that his time here is probably going to be short-lived. But again, I haven't seen any evidence to the contrary about him improving the team or improving our style of play or having, again, I keep coming back, I keep using the word philosophy. I don't see any of that anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I don't know how he's gonna, what his best 11 is. He sets up defensively against the likes of Villa. He sets up defensively against the likes of United. What is it that you're trying to do? Where is the whole being the protagonist and taking the game to the players? Where is that ruthlessness that you require? And Oba is saving him again. Oba and Lacazette saved him last season. Oba is not going to keep scoring. He will have a different form sometime this season. It's going fine for us now.
7-7,
But
Baba.
yeah, and I don't know. I don't see where we're going. And fine, I don't want to say Emery out right now because it's only 7 games in.
Mm-hmm.
I still think December will be the deciding factor as to where we end up finishing the season.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go through the Europa League games. I don't see us having a problem there. It's the league that,
Worries us.
and you know how traditionally, how difficult December gets.
Yeah.
Back-to-back games and tough games we've got coming up in that month.
Yeah. I think New Year's Day
So
we'll
he
have
needs
United
to,
again.
yeah,
Yeah.
he needs to have um,
A vision.
some a vision. No, I mean we can use vision and philosophy and really fancy sounding words,
Hmm.
but the point remains that, I mean, okay, if I give him the benefit of the doubt, he's not had the players he wanted. He's got them over the summer, and some of them have been injured, and now they're coming back into it. So let's see how it goes. I mean, we've got a good run of fixtures coming up in the next couple of weeks. These visible games that we should be winning.
Hmm.
I mean, we should have won United as well, but the games that you should expect Arsenal to win. Um, so I would I guess take a call on where we are. I think sometime December. I don't see anything changing drastically. I think it probably remain the same. But the point I made again last week as well. I think it whatever decision needs to be made needs to be done quick. We cannot dilly dally about.
So the thing with that is also, I feel even if we go through that bad games in December, we probably be about maybe between fourth and seventh or fourth and eighth, and I don't think that's really enough for the top top of the the hierarchy to really fire him. I feel his job is probably secure till the end of the season, but I have a feeling that if he doesn't, not have a feeling. I feel if he doesn't make top four this year, he really shouldn't get that extension, and he really should be. Arsenal
No,
should
yeah,
really.
no two ways about it. I think top four is the minimum expectation, and he's got his cards on the table. He's whatever he's wanted, he's gotten.
Mhm,
He's got nowhere to hide now, and I think he knows that as well.
mhm.
Sentiment is already turning against him very quickly.
Yeah,
And he's on borrowed time at this point, I feel, because a bad result, and by bad result, I mean even a draw at this point against any of the smaller sides, it will raise serious questions, and I'm sure he's aware of that.
I mean, last the whole of last week just papered over the cracks. I think we spoke about this on the first pod. It all led through the 2-2 from Watford, and had that game been followed up by the Aston Villa, instead of us winning at Aston Villa, had we lost that game, that week could have been a terrible week. It just
Oh yeah,
so happened that after the Watford game, we had a Carabao Cup game where we won. Then we came back and won the Aston Villa game, and then we won the Frankfurt game. So
Frankfurt game.
yeah. So Emery, that's how those performances papered over the cracks for Emery. I feel a little bit, but yeah, you're right. As soon as we stop, we have Bournemouth at the weekend at the Emirates, and on paper that should be an easy win for us. But I'm not confident because I know what's going to happen. We're going to probably have possession or give them or sit off them for some time and give them the ball, and they're probably going to nick it with a corner or a free kick or.
And that's just it. I mean, Ashwin, how many times have you and I sat and talked about us not being confident against the likes of Villa, against the likes of Bournemouth? I mean,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous that us as Arsenal supporters don't have confidence in our team to be winning these games easily.
I was
Like,
actually
and
sorry.
and
Go
that
ahead.
is where we are at this point. That is where we are as a club at this point. There is, especially, I mean, we don't know what's it like in the stadium. But as far away fans, if we're feeling this, I'm sure that it's a lot more pronounced,
Over there.
both in London as well
Yeah.
as in the stadium and people who are actually watching the game. So I don't know. It's where this club is at the point. I mean, from the statements Josh Kroenke made in the summer, I thought, it's taken a turn for the better, and it has. I'm not going to deny that. I think
Mm.
we've made progress. We've gotten rid of a lot of people who we didn't really require. We've brought in people who we wanted, but
Mm.
I'm not seeing anything drastically different.
I think you're right in a way that we are a little ahead of United in terms of that because we've changed our top end of our hierarchy basically, where we brought in a director of football, where we got
Yeah,
Edu, right, who's basically now looking into the sides of in the transfers and looking at the
yeah,
youth coming up, and it's not dependent on like how Wenger used to be the sole person in charge, basically looking at everything and having power over buying people and things like that. I think in terms of that, we are ahead of United because United are, I think, asking for that. Right now, I see that fans aren't blaming Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as much as probably blaming someone like the Glazers or Woodward because Woodward again
yeah.
is a businessman. He's not a footballing man. So I can see where their frustrations are. But for us right now, I feel our frustration lies with the manager because I remember when he came, he did an interview where he said, "I prefer winning games 5-4 rather than 1-0s," right? And since he's come, apart from maybe two games, I don't think he's scored more than 3 goals.
No, I think he said something today as well. I think during the Europa League press conference, he said something like, "I'd rather win a game than keep a clean sheet."
I mean,
Uh,
he's talking. He's
I
like,
mean, any good team, any title-winning team. Ashwin, you and I watched the English game for a while now to realize that any title-winning team or even any team that has a challenge
has to
needs
keep.
to have a stable defense. Has to have a rock solid defense.
Okay,
Um,
let me give you a stat.
and
Wenger's last 85 games, where which was apparently the worst ever, and Emery's first 85 games, Wenger had 17 clean sheets to Emery's 9.
yeah, I remember this. Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw
I mean,
this a couple of days ago. Yeah.
when people talk about how Wenger's team didn't know how to defend and he's only an attacking side, what has Emery done for us? We're worse defensively. We concede more goals. We score less goals. We play shit football. What has he changed? And I mean, a lot of people are saying that our fan base is ridiculous, already calling for the manager's head. But I see where these people are coming from. We don't. Our manager doesn't have a vision. He doesn't have any plan. He has no strategy. We go into games worrying more about what the opposition is going to do rather than what we do ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you look at what City and what Liverpool do. They have managed. They both teams have managers that have a mindset saying that okay, this is Plan A. If Plan A doesn't work, then we'll go to Plan B. But their Plan A is so good that they don't need to go to Plan B. We start with okay, let's not start with Plan A. Let's start with Plan B. Let's look at what the opposition is doing. Let's try to nullify that, and then let's try to hit them on the break. I mean, that is not what Arsenal is about. I think I mentioned this in the last pod. I said Sevilla was Emery's level. Arsenal is not.
Yeah.
He's. Can you imagine? He went to PSG and he lost the league. It's a one-team league in France. He lost the league with PSG, with players like Neymar, Cavani, Mbappe. No, okay, Mbappe was at Monaco at that time, but still, he lost the league with PSG. Right? So
I mean, to be fair to Monaco,
they're a great
that was an
team.
excellent that was an excellent team.
Yeah, it was, but you still at PSG, you have unlimited amount of money to go and buy whoever
That's
you
true.
want, right? And you don't expect a team over there to lose the league over there to a bunch of kids that were coming up from Monaco.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you and me can continue this debate on and on. I don't think it's ever going to change. And to be honest, I don't have any propaganda against Emery. I don't hate the guy. I think he's a genuinely nice
Yeah, no,
guy.
I don't either. And you're right. I mean, where both of us are coming from is the fact that we're not seeing anything
True.
drastically different or game changing that he's brought to the club
Yeah.
outside of his USBs. you know.
I don't
So
I don't even know how effective those USBs are, man.
yeah. So look, I think we can ask these questions.
Hmm.
The proof of the pudding is always in the eating. We'll know soon enough. It's not looking very. If I mean, I don't see. I feel quite despondent about it.
Hmm.
I don't see where we're heading. But I guess I'm just take it per game and see where we land and take a call in December to see how it goes. I'm not very hopeful. If I'm being very honest, I'm not very hopeful of how uh, where this is going to go.
Hmm.
But I mean, the table doesn't lie. We're fourth, 7 games in. Spurs are not looking great after the thrashing that they got last evening.
7-2.
Chelsea are at least have some semblance of a team with youngsters completely.
Hmm. And
Liverpool
I
City are we're not even close. United, let's just they're not we're a better team. Will they finish anywhere top four? I don't think so.
I think
Leicester is pretty much our only challenger for top four.
I was just going to say that. I think don't be surprised if Leicester actually finish third and we finish fourth, or if we struggle to get fourth, because I think right now the way Spurs are, I know they're probably going to be there around, but I have a sense that Chelsea will be more competition to us because of the way they set up and play. Okay, they they are a bit young, they are a bit naive, they play attacking football, and it is going to go wrong for them at times, but there are going to be times when it's going to go right for them. And that's the thing, right? Frank Lampard came with a vision, and he came with a plan saying that no, we're not going to play this sort of football. We're going to play this sort of football that I want to play. And the young players have adapted and they've listened to him, and they're playing attractive football. They're playing good football, right? So I have a feeling it's going to probably be between City, Liverpool for the first two spots. Then you've probably got Leicester in three. Then maybe we and Chelsea and Tottenham fighting it out for fourth and fifth. I don't see United being in there because I feel they're going to struggle, and their fan bases, most of their fan base is already turned on Oli. But yeah, I see us fighting for maybe
Yeah.
third and fourth. Yeah.
So anyway, Europa League next.
Yeah. Two home games coming up.
Two home games, Liège and Bournemouth. Bournemouth game is on Sunday.
Sunday.
We're playing Thursday, so Sunday. Yeah.
So the thing, so I'm hoping that he gives the kids a run out, because you don't need to risk an injury again by playing your big stars in Aubameyang.
Oh, he'll play Ozil for sure. I mean, he's nowhere in the starting 11, so I think he might play Ozil. Bellerin and Tierney would be the ones to look out for tomorrow.
So the thing was, there was a little news about Tierney being injured, but I think that was just to protect him from the international break, where Scotland was looking at calling him up, and Arsenal said no, we want to use him. I mean, let him rehabilitate properly, and come back. Because the thing is, there was an under-23 game on Friday which Bellerin played, and Tierney wasn't part of that, and everybody expected him to travel to Old Trafford, and he didn't. So, and a day after that, injury broke out. I mean, news broke out saying that Arsenal have pulled him back from international duty. So there was news about him probably suffering an injury again, but hopefully it shouldn't be anything serious, and we should see him tomorrow. And maybe both him and Hector getting a full 90 minutes should help.
Yeah.
So that, and Sunday is Bournemouth. Hopefully you should be back by then.
Yeah, I will probably be back. I'll be back home Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
So we can then do a full preview and a review of how the Liège game went.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
All right then.
All right, Ashwin. Thank you for this. Again, guys, sorry for the short pod. This time around, it's 1:30 a.m. here. Ashwin's been kind enough to let me not sleep.
I'll be thanking you for that.
But yeah, Ashwin, thank you for the time. Thanks, guys. Once again, please share your feedback, comments with us. Like, follow, subscribe to all the usual places. We're on YouTube, The Arsenal Way. We're on Twitter at The Arsenal Way. Follow us, and you'll have our handles come up as well. Give us each a follow as well. And we look forward to hearing from you guys soon.
Yes, this was great. Till next time, buddy.
Yeah. Take care, Ashwin. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.